Alright, we're gonna go through the exterior just to walk around on the outside. Overall, the outside is complete. Everything's there and in good shape. None of the lights are damaged or cracked or have any kind of moisture in there. One thing that stood out, like the black on these tips, it's just carbon. Got to clean that off or else it'll kind of just eat away at that chrome, the polish that they have there. Other thing, it's kind of harder to see on this wheel, a little line here, but you'll see it on like this one really well. You can see where they've touched these wheels up, and so they brushed the damage out, but the paint and stuff is different now. Very light scratches on this, no real dents or dings. I'm surprised about that. Let's see, there's some good scratches here. They're real light, just in the plastics. Let's see if I can get a better angle. There we go. Put my black pants in there. You see there? Just kind of like in the fenders. Just real light scratches. So I don't know if it was just like the area or the road they lived on, because there's no real dings or anything beat up. So it's all smooth and nice. No peel or anything. All the weather seals are good. I don't see any tape lines or any kind of internal trim repair. Tires are newer. And then all the lights work as well. I did note it a couple times, there is a chip in that windshield. With these having the safety sense and all that stuff on newer cars, those windows are a little bit more of a deal to replace than they used to be. Yeah, just one chip. It is the OEM glass, but that stuff's not cheap as it used to be, so definitely something to talk to them about. See if they can get it filled at least start there. Kind of hard to get it with the droplets, sorry. But yeah, cameras, 360 view, so you'll see little cameras all around. And then this has a little cover for your tow package. Pretty loaded, pretty kitted. We're gonna stop here and keep moving. All right, we're going through our engine bay here. So you got the big 6.2 on this guy. This front air dam that they have on these is gonna be for your intake. Sucks right down in there and then comes all the way back through. It's kind of like forcing the air as you drive. Oil level, everything's really good. Belts, hoses all check out pretty good. And then batteries kind of tucked down in here. All your fuses, and there's like a big fuse bank that goes on your positive here. It's your heater core T there. It's cool they made it clear so you can kind of see if there's anything going on in there. Electric fans, radiator's in good shape. Coming over here, everything checks out well here. Brake fluid, it's in good shape, good level. It's starting to get a little bit darker than what I like to see. I like to see nice gold. That's starting to get to that dark color. It just means moisture over time. That's doing its job, but you just got to do it typically 3 to 5 years. So like 30,000 miles plus, you want to just do that whenever you do brakes for the first time. You just flush that fluid. That's what I would say. Whenever you do your front brakes, you usually flush those fluids. These have electric assist nowadays, so you don't have to worry about power steering or anything like that on fluid wise. One thing, we do have a little bit of rodent damage in the hood sound dampening. It's not anywhere else in here. I always like to point this kind of stuff. Your aprons are untouched. All the bolts are as they have always been. No weird weld marks or any kind of things been taken off. No missing foams or anything like that. These are all still painted like you want to see. Really, really hard to see your frame rail on these guys. There's so much stuff in the way. But we'll look at all that from underneath. Main thing that stuck out was just a little bit of rodent damage there. Everything else checks out good. Alright, well, we start from the front here. So Chevrolet's always had, or GM, sorry, this is Cadillac. GM's always had like good skid plates on the front here just to keep everything out of the way, splash it, keep it splash proof. This chin splitter and everything is really good shape. It's not chewed up, not like it was going over stuff it shouldn't have been. Normally if there's a good leak or an oil leak or something, this will have like a stain to it, so that looks really good there too. We're gonna go to each side and just kind of check. This is mainly to make sure we don't have anything sagging down or loose. Alright, so this here is your first body mount and your frame. And then you can see your transmission. And then the back half of the engine there. Frame and everything looks really, really good on this truck. They are just like a dipped wax treatment, so the little bit of chips and stuff like this is pretty normal. Rocks will kind of chip pieces off. The surface rust is to be expected with our area, but none of this looks dramatic. None of it looks like it's an issue or anything that needs attention right now. I usually say about 10 years on something around here, and you want to get those touched up because those seams will just basically is where everything spreads from. Alright, that is your fuel tank. And we're gonna go straight from the back. Alright, so full size spare and your rear end. So it's not like a solid axle anymore, it's an actual control arm stiff with CVs, which is nice. It's more comfortable, just not as solid as it used to be, but it looks good there. Sounds good too, especially when it was cold. That was a nice cold start, and this is factory exhaust, so that's cool. Alright, we're toward the passenger rear now. So there is the frame again, body mounts and everything, all really good shape. And then I go along. Front, other side of the transmission, nice shiny. All looks really, really good. Nothing standing out to me here. Alright, so we're going through our interior. I always start here with the steering wheel first. Quite a bit of options on here. Adaptive cruise heated, cruise controls, resume, set. It's like a toggle. And then this button is to like enhance conversations and your phone call or assistant. Push this to have the assistant. And then you got volume, menu, and music like source here. Shifters down, up. You have auto, high beam lights and wipers. And then, getting mad at me because we're just chilling. Right now we have the parking brake engaged, so that's why the park light's on. The tire pressure lights never came on throughout the course of this test drive. You have your trip information down here. You have auto, so it like automatically uses the 4-wheel drive. Basically like an all-wheel drive. 2 high, 4 low, or 4 high, sorry, there is no low. And then you have your hill and modes. So there's tow haul, sport, touring, and then like mud and snow or something. Trailer brake, parking brake. Air conditioned, heated butt and back, just the back. And then memory seats. All 4 windows are automatic. This does have the 360 camera with the backup as well, and there's a trailer mode there too. And then your shifter is just like a tilt, it doesn't go anywhere. It does have the auto shutdown and hold for hills. This here controls this screen. Your climate controls here for up here, and then there's also climate controls back there, which I'll touch base on. This guy here is a little bit sticky, so it kind of sticks right there. Let's see a little bit of stuff, a little smudge there. And then the console has the headphones, which I'll show you here in just a moment what those are for. Alright, so with everything open, this is looking on the outside in now. Door cards are in really good shape here. Only the fronts had floor mats. There's no floor mats throughout the rest of the car. You'll see here, this is our only point of wear that I was able to find. Like, yeah, you got some wrinkle to the leather. That's normal when you sit in it, it wrinkles. But that is the only point of like wear where the trim has come up. And then right here you have a full top sunroof, speakers in the headrest, which is amazing. I got in here and they had this thing cranked up. Way to wake you up for inspections. Door cards, like I said, really good shape. And then back here, seats are also in really good shape. These all fold down and everything. Screens have something for them to watch if they plug in music, and then they can even navigate to your screen. And then this is for the headphones that were in the console. Climate control, heated seats for the rear, and then cup holders. The gap here is literally tips of my fingers to my elbow, so like almost my whole arm, right? It's pretty good. A lot of space there. Plugins and stuff for them are right down there. We're gonna swap sides. While I'm at this point, this, you have to push the inside. This handle does not move. So if you have little ones and they might yank on that, be warned. This guy here, here's pull, it goes down and folds in half. Here's your third row in really good shape. They have charge ports back there and cup holders. And then this just stands back up. Pull this handle here, little elbow action, lots of legroom. I mean, look at the space here, and I sit pretty far back when I drive because I like to push everything back so I don't speed. So I mean, I sat there comfortably. And then your passenger seat, really good shape, same controls, cooled, heated back butt, and then glove box here has your owner's manual, and then they have a little cubby for stuff there. Looks good. All right, so this is my little mirror that I use when I'm doing my inspections. It's about 4 feet or so. And then here's your storage bin. Pull up these little knobs here and you get to all the tools and stuff. Speaker system. And then you have, you know, almost a full arm's width here. And then you push these, you hold them, and those go down. And then you push these two, and the middles go down. And just like that, you're throwing stuff in there. Nothing in your way. Isn't that amazing? Then you can even pop them back up. What? Psych, I didn't need that. Hop in here, buddy. No, I'm just playing. Power lift gate. Pretty smooth operation. It's not the fastest, but it's not the slowest. One thing that might get you, definitely got me, you push on this to open the back. You just push it, just like that. And that's that. Stopped it too soon. Boom, boom. And then your hitch is behind that cover. All right, so this portion here is going to be our code scans. You can see we have some faults here. The body control has 12. A lot of those are going to be with the tire pressure light not working. And then I had the doors open when I was scanning this. The other ones are going to be low voltage codes. They're all stored, nothing's active. I'll go into this one here just so you can kind of get a good idea what I'm talking. Oh, no. So system voltage low, and then it lost communication. So you're gonna see that on pretty much all of those as stored if you go through this yourself. Those are usually clear over time, or you can just use a scanner similar to ours, or have a dealer clear those out. Honestly, it won't affect any kind of drivability on the vehicle. It's just kind of the vehicle says, hey, at some point I was dead and they had to jump start me. Check it out. We're gonna move on to our monitors. All right, so this is going to be our monitors that go through and they basically read a series of measurements, right? So we're making sure we don't have any misfires that are out of count or any kind of issues heating up our cycles. We did get one red X in the evap system. Now, what that is, it's a vapor canister and it regulates the amount of vapors your emissions or fuel tank produce, right? So as you're driving around, that should clear. I usually drew about 10 miles. That typically gets those to go off. But with this recently having to be jump started, I imagine this might take up to 20 miles to drive. I've got about 50 mile total range on this, but I don't want to use all the fuel they have here. That doesn't really concern me. We didn't have any codes. We didn't have any kind of odd, like too much fuel or sputtering or odd vapor smells or like that nasty egg cat smell, right? So like I said, most likely related to them having to jump start the vehicle. Nothing really concerning here. We're going to keep moving forward. Oh, before I go, we always look here. This VIN should always be the same as the VIN on the car itself. It just means that all the computers and stuff are still the ones that came with your vehicle and they didn't swap guts with something else, you know what I mean? And we're going to stop here. All right, so on the 21 Escalade, we're going to finish up here. Overall, great inspection. Not too much stood out on this guy. I did have kind of a jarring four-wheel drive interaction. Just going from 2 to 4. I was even at a stop, so that should be more seamless. Maybe something to look at. It does have a bunch of codes for low voltage, which I don't think is worrisome. Each one of these wheels, you'll have some brush marks. Just want to touch base on that. It's like they fixed the wheels or something and like just didn't repaint them, but they fixed the damage. Light scratching on some of the components, fenders from bumper here, but nothing really major. Overall, like a good buff and cut on this would do wonders. And then you do have a chip in your windshield here. On these safety ones, it's not as easy of a deal as it used to be, so definitely something to get looked at. They did do brand new tires and everything on this. It drives really, really good. Plenty of get up and go, but it also like tries to stay in that lower kind of chill Mosey on about RPM, so it's really nice, subtle. This is very loaded, lots of buttons, lots of things. Everything does what it's supposed to. Overall, nothing really gave me an issue. Just the oh yeah, the center console had a sticky like thing that folds. That was about it on the inside. Everything else doing really good. Talk to them about tire pressure sensors, because on these newer cars those are not getting cheap anymore, and sometimes it's hard to get them to talk to each other. They might even have a problem with it, and that's why they weren't able to get it to do it, being a Cadillac at a Nissan dealership. So definitely something to touch base on them. You don't want to kind of get stuck with that, especially if they just put tires on. I feel like that's part of safety when you get new tires. So touch base on that. Everything else checks out really good. And there's your inspection.